Hey guys, in this video, I want to walk you through a specific realization that we made, something ironic that we found in the last couple of months. If you don't know who we are Grow IT Partners and we help IT consulting firms set up client acquisition systems so they don't have to rely on their network, their referrals, or word of mouth. And we work on a partner model which is with aligned incentives as well. So the specific topic of today, we realized something ironic in the last couple of months. Most IT consulting firms who do a lot with data, a lot with IT for their clients, don't even track their own metrics. They, most of the time, they know more about their clients' data than they know about their own. So this was something ironic that we realized, and we think there's big opportunity there that they can still capitalize on if they manage to do this well. Because most IT consulting firms, they do have all the data. They probably have a CRM or something like that in which most of the metrics have been saved, but they just don't make the time to make sense of it. One of the people that we've spoken to even said we don't track any sales metrics. We just see at the end of the year whether we've had some positive numbers. So this was quite shocking. Some realizations that we made based on those conversations. And what we realized is that the lack of tracking of such metrics plays a significant role in the struggles that they have when it comes to client acquisition. Because they don't track, they cannot find the constraint that is limiting the whole client acquisition process and it's limiting the pipeline that they're building. One of the other quotes that they mentioned, one of the leaders mentioned, is as we don't get that much results because they were struggling with getting in conversations with people, getting them into the pipeline. They mentioned, well, as we don't get that much result and we can't build a big pipeline, we don't even enjoy tracking it. It's quite demotivating to see low numbers going through. So there needs to be a bit of perspective before they even want to start tracking it. So what we did is we made an overview of some of the specific metrics that we think are very important to track in your client acquisition process as an IT consulting firm. And I'll quickly walk you through all of them. So it starts with the lead rate, the metric that we call the lead rate. So that means what percentage of leads. So you probably have a specific ICP list, ideal client profile list, a list of potential customers, and what percentage of them turn into engaged leads. So what is an engaged lead? An engaged lead is someone that has shown some type of interest in you or your offerings. So they might have downloaded a lead magnet. They might have liked one of your posts on LinkedIn. They might have given you a positive reply on an email that you send out. So that would be the first metric to track. What percentage of the whole list that you have converts into an engaged lead? Then the second metric is scheduling rate. So whenever you get positive replies, whenever people engage with you, how many of them and what percentage of them actually schedule a call with you to just have a talk with you, getting to know your business a bit more, getting to know their business a bit more, and seeing whether you could help them. So that's the second metric that you should track. So based on those schedules, people that have scheduled a meeting, how many of them actually showed up? I think what we see as best practice is above 90% of the people that scheduled that do show up. So that's the third metric that we would track. And then the fourth metric is the close rate. So whenever people showed up, you probably have multiple conversations with them over a specific time period. What we see in the IT consulting space is that the sales cycles tend to be quite long. More on that maybe later in another video. And this metric, the close rate, is from the people that you've spoken to, what percentage of them actually turn into paying clients? And what we see here is that a close rate of 30% plus is good practice, is best practice. So companies that are able to do that are in good hands. Fifth metric, the cost of acquiring a customer is also one of the most important metrics to track. As the IT consulting service offerings is quite high ticket, you see quite a lot of long-term relationships and big projects. It is beneficial to track how much does it cost me to acquire a customer. So that should involve software costs and the employee costs that you have, and well, maybe any advertising stuff that you do. Combine all of that together, and how much does it cost me to acquire one customer? That would be the fifth metric. Metric number 6, long-term gross profit is also very important. You want to see this. You want to compare the cost to acquire a customer to the LTGP, which shows what is the real ROI of my client acquisition processes, the things that I do, and what does it lead to. So the LTGP is the average profit from a customer over their lifetime. If you have a customer for like 3, 4, 5 years, and every year they bring a gross profit of 100K every year, that would be $300,000 to $400,000 in LTGP. Also very important to track. And the last metric is the referral rate. When you have customers and you probably do a good job for them, deliver results for them, what percentage of them does actually refer you to other businesses, or does refer other businesses to you? And this is something that most companies don't take advantage of. They will just wait to see whether their clients will speak about them well, will share the things that you did for them. So as a company, you need to make sure that you incentivize them to do this as well. So this is essentially the referral rate, and it's for now the last metric that we would advise companies to track. And why is this so important? Why do you need to track this? Why do you want to see this? We see client acquisition as one big system, one big process. And in order to let the process grow, you need to solve its biggest constraint. You need to continuously see what is the biggest constraint holding back our business right now. And what you then want to do is fix an absolute improvement across every metric. And you need to see what is the biggest constraint right now. If you have a 10%, if you have a 50% close rate and you bring it to 60%, that will be a 20% increase in revenue. If you have a close rate of 25%, then you can get it to 35%, which is again a 10% increase. It leads to a 40% increase in the revenue of the total system. But if your schedule rate is your lowest metric, and you can get it from 10 to 20%, which is again a 10% change, it will lead to a 100% increase in your revenue. And I think that shows the real power of tracking these metrics. You shouldn't track them for tracking's sake. You need to make sense of it, just as you try to do for your clients. You consolidate your clients' data and you help them make sense of it. So this is essentially what we have seen. Pretty ironic realization that we made in the market. And we think where IT consulting firms have a lot of opportunity still. So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, you know where to find me, and I'll see you in the next video.